Hey guys, this is Andy from underdogchance.com, and in this video I will share my top lessons from profitable MLB betting season and in general of my baseball betting journey, because I bet baseball for more than 20 years and I learned a lot on this journey, and I want to share these lessons with you so you can become better sports better. I've been betting and analyzing for approximately 20 years. I'm talking about baseball, and I made over 45,000 analyses on baseball games. During this journey, I was changing my betting model, improving my betting model, of course. During this journey, I learned a lot of things as well. Not always, I was struggling at some point as well, which is completely normal. I was losing, I was winning, but I learned a lot. And this is something I want to share with you so you can have better chance at baseball betting. So I hope you will get some ideas from today. Okay, so last season in 2023, I my goal was to make 40 units. I finished with 59 units. Then I moved to summer where I enjoyed the rest of the summer. And my strategy of betting is to make profit, reinvest in passive incomes, and have a good life. So I use sports betting just as a tool, not something like for paying bills or something like that. Okay, so as I said, this is not some marketing video. It is basically a seminar where I will show slides and I will talk about betting, about baseball betting. I also apologize if there will be some mistakes or something like that. Okay, and of course I come from Europe, so also I apologize for my accent, but I hope we are all here to learn something from my journey, and I hope this will be helpful. Okay, because I also studied sports bettors over last 25 years. I was involved in sports betting communities since 2017. I also run my online betting course, and I talk with sports bettors. I see what are their main struggles, what are their main mistakes, and I hope you can learn something from this video so you don't make the same mistakes and that you increase the chances of winning in the long run. Okay, because in the short run nobody can guarantee the wins, but if you do the right things, and I'm talking about long run, 5-10 years, and I would also say that long term means lifetime, or until you reach the goal that you want. Okay, or until you love this what you do. Okay, so last season I finished with yield or ROI plus 7.64%. And what that means, 37.59% return in 4 months with a betting unit size of 1% of your bankroll. This is, let's say, 6 times or 10 times or 20 times better than stock market, depends on your unit size. So 1% in 4 months, this is like 10%, 10 times better than stock market if we translate this into stock market, right? If your unit is 2%, then if you bet 1,000 American dollars per game, then you would make more than 75,000 American dollars in this short period of time, which is amazing result if you know what to do with this money, if you can reinvest it. So once you start using sports betting just as a tool for investment, then this became completely another thing in your life, not just gambling, not just looking for sports picks, not just looking for winners. Because one of the big mistakes I see from sports bettors who come to me and they don't want to invest any time to learn anything. They don't watch videos. They simply jump to betting, and I think this is also a big mistake, because I think this is the most important thing. Because if you know what you're doing and if you have overall picture, then you will make better betting decisions. You will be more focused. You know exactly what you do. And when we talk about performance from last season, this is 10 to 20 times better than a typical annual stock market, which is around 10% per year. Okay, so here is what we are going to cover in this betting, let's say, seminar. I don't know how to call this video, because I will talk through these slides. So you will learn 10K lessons for smarter MLB sports betting aimed to achieving success and financial gains. This is why what I believe we are all here. You will also get insights into my betting selection process. I will explain quickly how I make my bets, what is the goal of analysis, and you can learn more about my way of betting if you go to underdogchance.com. The link is also below, and you can learn more about my way of betting. And I will also show you common mistakes to avoid in baseball betting and also in general, because the sports betting concepts are similar and you can basically implement to any other sport or any other market. And maybe we should start talking more about markets, not sports, because sport is one thing, market is another thing, but this is maybe topic for another time. Okay, so here's what I discovered from my journey analyzing and betting on baseball games for 20 years. Okay, the lesson number one: set goals and have a plan. This is number one lesson, because most people just want to bet. I see people come to me, they start making analyze, they don't even know what is plus CV, they don't know what are probabilities, they don't know how to use spreadsheets, they just want to bet. And this is usually a disaster. And I can tell you that from the first conversation or from the first couple of days, I can see if a bettor will be long-term winner or he will be a losing bettor. Because the best sports bettors I met in my life, and I'm talking about 25 years of betting, the best sports bettors I met in my life, they are dedicated, they have long-term vision, they're patient. Okay, they don't jump to gambling, they don't jump to push by bet now buttons. Okay, they are detail oriented. Okay, because this is, because if you, I don't know, if you play sport, okay, you need to be athlete, you need to have a good diet, you need to be disciplined, you cannot party whole nights, right? So all those things you need to figure out, and then you will be good NBA player. When LeBron James say that basketball changed his life, it was not only basketball. Okay, it was the whole picture, the mindset, how he set the goals, he had a plan for training, for diet, for everything. Because there's a lot of very talented young boys, young people who play basketball, and they're maybe even more talented than LeBron James, Michael Jordan, but they didn't have goals, they didn't have plan, they didn't have discipline. Okay, and before you start betting, you can have the best betting model, the best picks, the best, in the long run you will not win if you don't have a goals and a plan. Okay, so treat betting as an investment. Approach betting with the mindset of an investor, setting clear goals and planning strategically. This is very important. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, of course I will explain everything. Okay, so if we have on the right side one successful investor, he is happy with plus 10% annually. What that means, that he started with 10,000 American dollars and at the end of the year he has 11,000 American dollars. Okay, he is very happy. So the richest people or very successful people or rich people, millionaires, they are happy if they make plus 10%, plus 20%. Okay, they are completely happy with this. Okay, on the other side, we have sports bettors who are completely delusional. Okay, I receive emails, hey MB, I know someone who is making 20 units each month, I want to make 30 units each month. Well, if you know someone who can make 40 units, which means 40% in 1 month or 80% in 1 month each month, tell me this strategy and I will be happy, right? Most sports bettors or sports gamblers have completely delusional dreams about what success in sports betting means. Okay, if you can outperform stock market by 5, 3, 4, 5, 10, or even 20 times, then you are doing something correctly, something good. Okay, and this should be your first starting focus. Okay, of course we can have good months, good seasons, and sometimes you have opportunity. I also quadrupled my profits in basketball betting years ago, or when I started betting on local bookies, where my local bookie didn't move the lines, and I was taking the advantage comparing with big sports books. I was making a lot of profits. But once you start betting on major leagues, and I'm talking about baseball here, right? then you also need to have a plan, and you need to be realistic, because you will not make plus 1000% in NFL betting, in baseball betting, in NBA betting, because those are more like markets, like I would even say that hybrid stock markets. Okay, and if you start looking at this way, then you will also have better plan, better strategy, and everything else. Okay, uh, so first, before you start betting, define your goals and exit strategy. Okay, so last season my goal was to make 40 units. So what that means, baseball season starts on April, let's say April, usually a little bit before April, and it ends in September, let's say November. The last month is always, let's say, a little bit worse, because new players come, some teams are not motivated, there are some upsets. Also, first month is usually a little bit worse, because we still don't have the stats, and the best months for me are always May, June, July, August. In that period, I made the most profits. But what you want to do, you want to define your goals. Okay, but in 7 months, if you make 40 units, and if you play strategically with 1% as a unit, or even if you take 2% as your unit, then it would be 80 units. But if you take higher, percentage, then you also need to be much more risk tolerant, because you will have much bigger ups and downs. This is not for everyone. But if you play 1% of your bankroll, if you make 40 units, this is plus 40% in half year. Okay, or in 6 months. Okay, usually you can make this earlier, if let's say 40 units in 6-7 months. This is 4 times better in that period. And if we translate this into 1 year, this is like what, 8 times better than stock market. Okay, and this is something it is worth doing, right? But of course, every single season is different. Okay, in sports betting there is no guarantee. Okay, the guarantee is your hard work, focus, and long-term success. But I cannot guarantee that this season will be profitable season. Okay, and because of that, I recommend to have also exit strategy. Okay, I learned this when I was studying investors and traders and so on. They also have some goals, what they want to reach, and when they want to exit if something went wrong. Okay, with this you are much more calm, and you know exactly what you're doing. Okay, so in this range you are playing the game. Okay, in this range you're playing the game. Okay, minus 30 units, you can set whatever you want, but minus 30 units, this is something you can afford to lose, and it will not affect your life. Okay, we can talk about how to use finances and everything else. I will also mention this later in this video, but this is very important, because you know what you can expect from the season, you know what you can lose, and you will make better betting decisions. Simple as that. Okay, you will not chase losses, you will not panic, and you will simply play the game, and you want to reach your goal. Okay, my goal last season was 40 units in 6-7 months. I made it in 4 months. Then I went to summer, and I enjoyed summer, and I will probably do this season the same. Okay, and I always follow stock markets, I always follow Bitcoin, and my goal is basically transforming money that I made into investments. Okay, and this year 2024, I believe that it will be Bitcoin year, so we can even improve our portfolios with it. But this is more for each person differently. So if we translate this into stocks, so 40% in 4 months is like or approximately 10% per month. It is 10 or 12 times better than stock market. So and as I said, exit strategy, for example, 30 units. You can set your own goals. But for me, if I make 40 units and if I use these profits to reinvest, build portfolio, then this is completely okay. So what are the benefits of having realistic goals and plans? Okay, so understand the season's variable nature. Recognize that not all months are equally profitable, with May through July typically offering the best opportunities. This is for me, for my betting model, right? Some other bettors can find better opportunities at starting point in the first month, because most modelers are still not there. Some people might find better results late in September, right? So you need to find your own way. My way, I use my personal MLB betting model. I found in last couple of years that first month and the last month are probably the worst. Okay, so I could even stay away from the first month of betting on baseball. But you need to understand that not every single month is the same. So if you have the goal to make 40 units, and let's say that you reach 45 units in September, right? Uh, then you have two options. Okay, you can take this money, or you can gamble, and maybe you end with 35 units. Okay, last season I my goal was to make 40 units. I reached 41 units, but then I made two extra bets, and then I decided I don't need to do this, so I simply went to summer to an island and live there for the rest of the summer. So you can have a goal, and you simply need to understand that not every single mold will be profitable. Baseball season is long. It is like 10 10 NFL seasons, right? NFL season has 256 games, I think. Baseball season has 2,430 games. So it is like 10 years of NFL betting, okay? And you will see that not every single month is the same, okay? And of course, reinvest profits. Okay, plan to use the earnings from betting to invest in other assets like cryptocurrency, stocks, in your business, in your knowledge, in assets. Okay, avoid common pitfalls by having disciplined plan and realistic goals. You can avoid chasing losses and maintain structured betting experience. Because if you have a plan, you will not chase losses. Okay, so if you're completely honest with yourself, okay, I can lose 30 units, I can make 40 units in that range, I will do my best to reach 40 units. And if you have this in mind, you will not chase losses. Okay, achievable returns is so another benefit. If you have a plan and go, last year's target of 40 units gain with disciplined betting could lead to significant returns for exceeding typical stock market performance. Okay, so this is the goal. The goal is not money. The goal is not betting. The goal is building wealth and improving life. If you have this plan, if you have strategic goals, whatever you bet, you will see better results. I didn't have this when I was younger, but once I started doing this, life changed. Okay. So here's big takeaway from this lesson number one. The key to mastering MLB betting lies in treating it like an investment by setting clear goals and having strategic plan. Okay, so simply said, let's say you want to make 50 units and you are prepared to lose 30 units, and then forget the rest. Okay, simply do daily analysis, do your best, and then hope for the best. Okay, this involves defining what you want to achieve with your betting, understanding your tolerance for loss, and planning for both potential gains and the inherent risk of betting. Okay, the lesson number two: bankroll management. This is something most bettors don't have. One of the problems is that most bettors start with a very small amount of money. Okay, so if so, this will sound a little bit weird, but if you don't, if your bankroll is less than 10,000 American dollars, or let's say 5,000 American dollars, okay, then you don't need to bet major league sports. Okay, I know people love baseball. I know people love watching games. This is excited. Baseball is every single day, and so on and so on. But at some point of your betting career, you need to decide what you want from betting. Do you want to bet for money, or do you want to bet for love of the sport? And baseball, NFL, NBA, those are big major sports, okay? And most people who start with very small amounts of bankrolls, like 1,000 American dollars, they do two things, okay? They either bet too much on a game, and then they lose 10 games in a row, which will happen. I lost 20 games in a row, and they lose whole bankroll, okay? They are out of the game. And but I also understand that they will not bet 1%. So if you have 1,000 American dollars, you will not bet $10 per game, because then you will never come to bigger bankroll. Okay. So what is the solution? Solution for small bankers are small markets, because in small markets, sports books don't pay that much attention. The lines can move the lines will move much more, especially if you compare bookmakers, different sports books. Many sports books make mistakes. Sports books don't have resources to cover all these small markets. The competition of sports bettors, so professional sports bettors who bet a lot of money, they are not involved in these small markets. And this is one way how you can grow your bankroll. And once you start betting baseball or NBA or I don't know, NHL, NFL, whatever, you need to have bankroll management. Okay, we can talk about this and we can try to fake it or not fake it, but at the end of the day, you need to have bankroll management. Okay. So what is a bankroll management? Bankroll management is a fundamental aspect of successful sports betting, especially in baseball betting. It involves setting aside a specific amount of money solely for betting, distinct from personal finances, and determining a unit size to bet on each game. Okay, so you take the money, let's say 10,000 American dollars, and then you say, okay, my unit will be 10,000 100, so it is 100 American dollars. Okay, this is your unit. Okay, so if you have 10,000 American dollars, this is not money for paying bills, or I don't know, this is the money you can afford to lose. This is your speculative money. So I believe that if you bet, you also have stocks, cryptocurrencies, and so on. So, and this is part of your portfolio, right? If not, then we are talking more about gambling. But if you do it right, sports betting bankroll is amount of money you use and divide into small pieces. Those are units. Okay. This approach ensures sustainability in betting, allows bettors to survive losing streaks, and aims for long term success by mitigating risk and avoiding the temptation to chase losses. Because if you win every single bet, you don't need bankroll management. But if you lose, and you will lose, last season I went, I think 419. I think this was the biggest losing streak. You need bankroll management for losing streaks. Even if you make all the best bets, even if you beat closing line every single time, even if you make the best, even if you're the best sports bettor in the world, you will face losses. Okay, this is something you need to handle. Okay, and the best way to handle this is bankroll management. Okay, uh, so how to start with bankroll management? Separate betting bankroll. Allocate a specific amount of money for betting separate from personal finances. Determine bankroll size. This should be money you can afford to lose, ensuring it doesn't affect your daily life. And define your unit size. Set your unit size between 1% and 2%. Okay, so if you have 10,000 American dollars to start, then 1% would be my recommendation. Professionals bet even less. And this is also even much smaller amount of money compared to overall portfolio, because betting should be always part of bigger picture. Okay, and then this can be, I don't know, 0.01% of everything. And then of course you don't care if you lose 10 games in a row, because this is just a drop, like when stock market drops. Okay, or if you also bet 2% of your bankroll to mitigate risk. As I said, my worst run was for 19. This is like minus 15 units. So if you bet, let's say, if you bet 5% per game, and if you lose 15 units, that's like 75% of bankroll. And then this would be a huge panic. So if you have 10,000 American dollars, and let's say that you start with this run, suddenly you have only 2,500 American dollars. Of course, you will be in panic, and this is not good way. So 5% is always too much. Okay, so then people will say, I have only 100 American dollars. I have only 1,000 American dollars. Well, it's hard to make a lot of money from 100 American dollars. If I could make a lot of money from 100 American dollars, then I would be already a billionaire. So if you know how to make millions from 1,000 American dollars, then tell me, right? This is why bankroll management is important. Okay. So, big takeaways from lesson two: effective bankroll management ensures you never put yourself in a position to lose everything on a few bets. It's about playing the long game, staying in the action even though rough patch, and maximizing your chances of making a profit over time. And many bettors without bankroll management fall into trap of chasing losses by increasing their bets in attempt to win back what they've lost. Okay, bankroll management is important. Okay. Uh, Lesson number three: always bet on plus CV. This is sports betting basic. I think that nobody should start even betting if he doesn't understand the basics of betting. But if you want that I give you advice, uh, learn first before you bet. And plus EV is one of the key basics, top five, top three basics. If we talk bankroll management, plus EV, closing line value, numbers, and so on, this is one of the most important things because this is the only concept that works in sports betting. Okay, you need to find the probability that is higher than the odds reflect on the betting market. Okay, so the key to achieving long-term success in baseball betting is focusing on bets with positive expected value rather than relying on guesswork or following betting trends. Okay, and I will show you one interesting thing. In 2017, I was separately tracking my gut feeling bets. Okay, so before I made analysis, I was making my gut feeling bets, and you see, green, it was my actual bets based on numbers, and in green, those were my guts bets. So before I made analysis, because once you make analysis, let's say that you have two teams. Let's say that you have, I don't know, Red Sox and Yankees, and before you see odds, before you make analysis, you'll say, okay. And of course you see the odds from bookmakers, you will say, okay, I would bet on Boston, this is value. But then once you make analysis, you will see that it is basically a value with the Yankees. And how biased are our opinions? And many people still don't understand this. Okay, they will try to guess winners, they will try to include their opinions, and this is not going to work. Opinions are always biased. Okay, simply stick to the numbers. Okay. uh, so how to find plus CV? Okay, plus CV bets arise from discrepancies between the calculated odds of a game's outcome and the odds offered by a bookmakers. Okay, indicating a potentially profit opportunity. In other words, if you think that Red Sox plus 100, so in other words, bet on Red Sox plus 100 when you think they should be minus 130, and this thing should be based on numbers, facts, and analysis, not just think, right? But let's say that you have correct number and you say they should be minus 130, and bookmakers offer better price, you get more than you expect. And this is basic concept of plus CV. So the question is, what is the correct number? So what is that fair, that good number, right? So many sports bettors use Pinnacle odds and then bet on soft bookies. Okay, this is why we see so many odds comparison site, and which is completely legit way of betting as well. Okay, so you use Pinnacle odds, but at Pinnacle there are also bettors. Okay, so there are some sharp bettors that bet on Pinnacle and betting exchanges, and then other sports bettors use odds comparison site. They check what Pinnacle offers, and then they compare with soft bookies that didn't move the line, and they found the value. So how to do this? I will show you one example. For example, this is from today's game. Pinnacle has Dodgers at minus 172. And the San Diego Padres at plus 158. And as you see, some other bookmakers have them at plus 191. This is just before the game start. William Hill also has plus 170, and you can calculate this. Okay, every sports bettor should know how to calculate probabilities. So I use decimal odds, which are much simpler to use. So if we turn these numbers into implied probabilities, we get the margin. So this is the VIC, right? The fee that you pay every time when bookmakers offer the odds. From this, you can calculate fair odds. Fair odds would be plus 163. Okay, this is fair odds if Pinnacle is the cornerstone of most effective lines. And then you see, for example, this. So the fair odds is plus 163. Other bookmaker offer plus 191, and then this would be a good bet. Okay, and of course, two different bettors can make completely different bets and both can be profitable. Okay, this is also one concept many sports bettors don't understand. This is why they try to follow or mimic other sports bettors. No, everyone has his own unique bet. You are living in Denver, in Colorado, for example. You have your own bookmaker, you have your own time zone, you have your own opportunities, and you need to find your own way. Okay, this is why I believe that creating unique betting strategies is the path to long-term success, because with AI and technology, these opportunities will be gone quickly in the future, because the lines will move immediately, and many odds comparison sites will disappear. This is my prediction. I'm not sure, but we will see. And at the end of the day, everyone will need to find his own way of analyzing games. Okay, but this is one way how you can find plus EV. So if pinnacle closing odds are the most efficient odds, that means that the probability of the game is the closest to true probability, or the true probability, let's say true probability. Okay, and this is your starting point. Okay, you turn these odds into probabilities and you get the chances of both teams, and then with from all those probabilities you can turn them into the odds. Okay, and from this starting point then you can compare other sports books and find plus ev, in other words, the odds that offer more. Okay, this is one way. The second way, or there are also other ways, you can also check pinnacle steam bet. So if the line moves quickly, you can all, but basically it's the same concept. So you're betting on soft bookmaker. You can also do arbitrage betting. For example, if you have plus 105 for one game and the other bookmaker has plus 105 on the other team, and then you bet on both. But at the end of the day, I believe that every sports bettor will have to find his own unique way if he wants to win in the long run. And I use my personal MLB betting model. So I simply type into the spreadsheets the teams, pitchers, and then the betting model will show me winning probabilities. And then I type bookmakers odds, and then I have some criteria, adjusted Kelly criterion formula, which tells me if this is a qualified bet or not. This is my way of betting. I can modify this. Sometimes I give a little bit more weight to bullpens, starting pitchers. This is something we can change. I can also change during the season. This criteria depends on my personal goals, but the core and the heart of the betting model and the formulas are always the same. Okay, and this is something I also try to teach people. There are some concepts that are always the same, and then you need to have enough skills so you can use your own unique betting strategy. Okay, so big takeaways from lesson 3. Plus EV, finding bets where your calculations suggest higher winning chances than those reflected by bookies odds can lead to profitable betting. Okay, avoid guesswork. Success in baseball betting demands a systematic analytical approach rather than relying on luck or following popular picks. Okay, following picks. I have never seen a person who is following picks and he changed the life through sports betting, who could leave the job. Because if you follow picks, you always rely on others. If you want to be independent, if you want to use sports betting as a tool to make your life better, to build portfolios, then you should make your own analysis. Some people will say, okay, but I found successful sports bettor and I will not do anything. I will just follow picks and I will just bet. So why would you follow anyone? Simply buy bitcoins, simply invest in Nvidia, Apple's tech stocks, and I can guarantee you will also make a profit. And you don't even need to bother with sports. But the problem is that most people are sports gamblers, and they love sports and they want to have fun. All right, so those are completely two different things. But I don't see any point in following picks. I see the beauty, and not only the beauty, but effectiveness of making your own analysis, because once you make your own analysis, you learn on your own way what works for you, what doesn't work. For example, if I take baseball betting, I know that totals are not doing well for me, spreads are doing well, and you can then find your strategies that work for you, okay? And then you can make profits each year after year. And of course, sometimes you lose, but if you have long-term vision, you know what you're doing, okay? Shifting betting approach, moving from trying to pick winners to focusing on plus EV bets is crucial for achieving sustainable success in MLB betting. I think plus EV, this is something everyone should understand. This was probably not possible 20 years ago when I started, or 25 years ago, because there were not many information. There were no books, there were no seminars, there were no betting courses, nothing. But right now, anyone who doesn't understand plus EV, that's really really bad, right? Because with so many information, every sports better should understand plus ev. Don't talk about sports, don't talk about teams, don't talk about players, only focus on the numbers and plus ev. That's the only way to win at sports betting. No, that's the only way you will have a chance to win at sports betting, because winning at sports betting is not 100%. And I will be completely true, I will be completely honest here. uh, Anything, whatever you do in your life, comes with a risk, okay? Because if there is no risk, there is no upside. I hope this makes sense. So if you send your kids to college, to, I don't know, to Los Angeles, there is a risk he will not finish a college, and you will invest money into your kids and they will not finish college, for example. If you take a loan for college and you don't finish it, it is also risk. When you go to a job, there is a risk that you lose a job, that you will be killed on the road. When you invest in stock market, there is a chance that the economics will collapse, that the world will collapse, that the war will start. Every single thing comes with a risk. Even if you go to a bar and approach a girl, there is a risk that you will be rejected. Everything we do comes with a risk. So the life itself is the game of probabilities, okay? Those who don't understand the life and the world, they think there are sure things, and those who who are completely delusional, they think there are sure things in baseball betting or in sports betting in general. No, there is no sure things. The sure thing is only the concept. Plus EV is the sure thing, okay? Because if you bet on positive expected value, you can expect profit, and based on theory, you will make a profit. But you can also be unlucky, and you can lose every single game, okay? So this is something we need to understand, okay? But plus ev is very important, okay? uh, Lesson number 4: avoid parlays. I don't bet parlays. I bet parlays when I started betting, but this is something, it is very important. I learned this in my younger years. So why not parlays? This is again sports betting basics. The unpredictability of baseball outcomes makes parlays a risky bet with a reduces chance of success. Okay, once you put more games on a ticket, the probability of success to win a bet, okay, I'm not even talking about plus EV here, okay, just the outcome that you win a bet is very small, okay. So if you put I think 5 games on a ticket with minus 110, I think you have less than 4% of chance. So even if you have plus CV, and let's say that your prediction is completely correct on every single game, uh, it is less than 5-7%, okay, even if you have the best betting model, the best analysis, okay. The chances of success is very small, and the games and the season is limited, okay. In parlays, the second thing, in parlays, the bookmakers fee compounds with each added game, increasing the sportsbook advantage, okay. Because if the odds would be fair, plus 100 plus 100 would represent 50%, 50%. What bookmakers do, they simply lower the odds to minus 110, minus 110, right? So you pay more than you should pay, okay, and that difference is their fee. And once you put more games on a ticket, this fee is multiplying, and you give more advantage to bookmakers, and this is something you don't want to do, right? So this is a problem because mathematics favors bookies. Over time, parlays are more profitable for sports books than for individual bettor, and this is why bookmakers love parlays. This is why you see all these ESPN, Bleacher Reports. They are making hype about parlays because they create hype. This attacks dopamine system on bettors, and they see some parlay. One bettor made $100 bet, and he made, I don't know, 100K. And of course, everyone dreams about it. But this is like my grandmother or some grandmother who buy a lottery ticket and she hopes for that big win or something like that. But this is completely, I don't know. Every If you bet on baseball, baseball is intelligent game, right? Baseball is game of numbers, so everyone should understand the risk and the probability of these parlays. Okay, so this is really really basic. So don't play parlays. You can hit one big parlay, but if you want to win in the long run, and this is something I believe, if you watch this video until now, I believe you want to win in the long run, right? You wants to also increase the chances of success. Okay, so here's a big takeaway from lesson 4: stick with single bets. Always single bets. Focusing on single games limits the effect of weak and allows for bets based on true odds specific events. Okay. Lesson number five, betting on underdogs. I want to share some useful lessons from betting on underdogs from last season. So this is very important before I share my results from betting on underdog last season. By choosing the underdog, you're acknowledging that statistically your chances of winning are often below 50%. Okay, if you have the best betting model, let's say, and you have 55%, but if there is underdog, 45%, but usually below 50%. Okay, yet this doesn't automatically categorize it as a losing strategy. Okay, this is something very important. The key lies in understanding and focusing plus CV, because many times I see on the internet, on Twitter, on YouTube, sports bettors who say my record is, I don't know, 300 and 275. Okay, what does this even mean? So if your average odds are minus 200, then you didn't make any money, right? So we have sports bettors, and I will take horse racing bets, for example. Those are professionals who win only 30% of games and they're making a lot of money. Win record is not important, and you can make money with betting on underdogs as well. Okay, if you focus on plus CV, right? But my lessons, my strategy, and my lessons from last season's underdogs, I went with plus one or run lines for big underdogs for full game, and I went plus 0.5 for big underdogs in first 5 innings. Okay, uh, what does this mean? That means that if after 5 innings the game is tied, it was still a winning bet. Okay, and the result, full game run lines were so big underdogs. Okay, I still took smaller underdogs plus 120, plus 130, but if I could get plus 1.5 at around minus 125, then I took run lines. ROI or yield plus 21.13% for full games, first 5 inning run lines plus 20.7%. Okay, and the average odds plus 109 on run lines. Okay, so I didn't go for big. For example, I didn't go for minus 200, right? But I was looking for minus 120 odds maximum or something like that. Okay, so I looked at run lines, and if I could get good price, when my betting model showed the value on underdog, I took a safer version. And many of these games actually finished with a tie, and it was a winning bet. Okay, so this is something that you can take into account as well. So one other important thing: if you bet plus EV, you can expect profit. Okay, so no matter if you play plus 1.5 or money line, but here are the reasons why I decided so. Okay, the reasons behind this decision: reality of underdog betting, limited by definite number of games, making the selection of valuable bets is critical. Okay, many of these qualified games in first 5 innings ends with a tie if my model found a value on underdog. And here's the thing. Okay, so let's say that you have the best probability. Let's say that you know exactly the probability of the game. Okay, and let's say that your chances are 1 out of 1,000. Okay, so and then sportsbook offer you 1 out of 10,000, so you have a value. However, the problem is this: even if you have a value in this game, you have a bankroll where you have room for 100 tries. Okay, and before you will hit that first win that would cover all the losses, you will be out of the bankroll. Okay, the season is limited, your bankroll is limited. Okay, and this is why. And of course, small bettors who bet 2, 5, 10% per game, this underdog betting is not for them. Okay, because they will hit first losing streak and they will be out of the game. This is why such strategy might be good for many bettors. Okay, because we have limited bankrolls and limited time. Okay, so big takeaways from lesson number 5. We have all limited bankrolls. If you play 1% per game, then you have 100 tries. 2% per game, you have 50 tries, and so on. Okay, because every sports bettor must have the room for mistakes. Okay, you need to have room for mistakes. Okay, lesson number 6: the crucial impact of the bullpen. Uh, Starting pitchers don't go as far as they did in the past. So from 2003 to 2010, starting pitchers went more than 5.5 innings, so 5.68 innings per game. Okay, from so no, this is from 2010 and 2020. So I made a mistake here, but they went only 5.26, and in last 3 years, this is around 5 innings. So I just want to show you the trend that starting pitchers don't pitch 7, 8, 9 innings in average. Of course, we have some pitchers that can go far, which should be included in your own betting analysis, but in average, the bullpen is very important. Okay, this trend signifies a strategic transformation in baseball, with starters now accounting for less than 60% of games total. So if you ignore bullpen, you are ignoring around 40% of game, and bullpen is important, and this is something you should take into account. So now you have two choices. Okay, you can make bullpen analysis, incorporating a comprehensive evaluation of a team's relievers into betting strategy. The problem with this is that we never really know who will play late in the game, you because it all depends on the results in first 5 innings. Then the coach will decide, the manager will decide if he will start that or that pitcher. Sometimes they will take lefty against left-handed hitter, and then they will change him after one hit or after one hitter, right? And you never really know who will start. This is the challenge of bullpen analysis, and this is also the challenge of betting full game, right? And the second choice is first 5 innings focus. Betting on the first 5 innings takes advantage of the predictability of starting pitchers, offering a more stable betting foundation. This is last season, as I said, first 5 inning betting was much better, but of course, this is not a guarantee that this season will be the same. The year before, I make profit both in first 5 innings and also in money lines. But but many bettors on baseball, they simply bet only full game money lines, while there is also great opportunity in first 5 inning focus, because you have a starting pitcher, you can take him into your analysis, you know exactly who will start, so you have his numbers, and then you have team's numbers, and you exclude that unpredictability of the relievers. Okay, so this is your choice, what you can do. And as I said, last season, first 5 innings were much better for me. Okay, so what is big takeaways from lesson number 6? Bullpen is 40% of the game. The game changed completely, so you cannot just see the starting pitcher and then you make a bet. You simply need to analyze the whole game, the whole lineup. Okay, adjusting betting strategy, recognizing the critical impact of relievers, and adjusting betting tactics accordingly is crucial. And personal betting preference, betting on the first 5 innings has proven to be more profitable than full game lines last season for me. Okay, so this is, I hope, the idea or the lesson you can try this season. Okay. Lesson number 7: bet early. This is also very important thing, because once I had a gentleman who came to me, and he said through emails that when he came home from work, then he has a wife, and then just before the game start, then he bets. Right? This is a surefire for losing. Okay, because I will not talk about whole closing line value theory, but So what are the odds? The odds are the prices on the market that we pay. Okay, so how to win in betting or in life? You need to get better prices than the rest. No matter what you do, if you buy a car, you need to buy it for 10,000 American dollars and sell it for 20,000 American dollars. This is the concept of making money. How to do this? You need to outsmart the market so that other people don't buy this car before you. Make sense? Oh, okay. I hope it makes sense. The same is in sports betting. The odds are the prices that we pay and they reflect the probability of the game. Okay, and when the closing odds comes, so this is the price just before the game start, bookmakers will incorporate every single information. So these odds include every available information to that point. Okay, so it includes the money involved, sports bet or sharp betting, all the information, injury statistics, everything. Okay, and those odds, closing odds, are proven to be the most efficient lines. And what you want to do, you want to outperform these prices and you want to outsmart that market. Okay, and betting early is important. So some people will say, I don't know all the information. And if there are all available information, you are already late. Okay, so the principle of betting early is crucial in sports betting. As I said, closing line value. So when to bet? If I would bet on closing lines last season, I would still make a profit, but it will be minus 34.3% decrease. Okay, 77.22% of times the odds dropped last season. For me, betting between and analyzing the games between 8 to 12 in the morning in European time was the best for me. But you can also find best time for you based on your bookmaker, based on your opportunity, based on your available sports books. But this time is 3 to 8 a.m. US Eastern Standard Time. Okay, you need to find your own way, but definitely do not bet at closing times, because if you have the edge in any betting market, you will beat the line. The odds will drop. If you don't have it, you will lose anyway. So it is not important. But if you have the edge, let's say that you have the edge, you will try to bet early. Okay, you will try to bet early. Sometimes people say that they wait for others if the line. No, they wait for the line to move. This is completely wrong. Sharp bettors don't wait that lines drops. Okay, I'm talking about their bookmakers. Sharp bettors don't wait the lines drops. Okay, because this is like, I don't know, waiting to buy a car when you can buy it for 10,000 American dollars and then you wait and you buy it for 15,000 American dollars. You simply don't have the edge if you wait. And some others will say, okay, I'm waiting to pinnacle odds and they drop, and then I bet on the soft bookie that didn't move the line. Yes, of course, this is completely another thing, right? This is completely another thing. This is team betting, right? So you wait sharp action and you still get better price than it was there. So this is another topic, okay? But if you're a serious bettor, if you're a pro bettor, if you want to make money on Pinnacle, on betting exchanges, not following sports picks or some soft bookmakers or something like that, if you do it seriously, then you want to bet early, okay? You want to bet early, and if you have the edge, you will bet early. Okay, if you don't have the edge, then it is not important at all, because the loss will come at the end as well. Okay, so what is the potential risk? Of course, unexpected lineup changes. They can change starting pitcher, and if your bookmaker doesn't include starting pitcher, then you can lose bet. Sometimes you can make a mistake. I made each season, I make five mistakes, and I lose 5 units because of this. Last season I also made mistakes, but this is something that will come with this as well. But it is bigger risk once all available information are already incalculated in the odds. There is no value anymore, because some investor said, I know it was Soros or some other, he said once, or Jeff Bezos, once there is more than 70% of available information, you're already too late. Okay, and my lesson, my 25 years betting lesson is that you need to bet early. Okay, there are some soft and inefficient markets, smaller markets, which is something I always recommend to bettors with small markets, with small bankrolls, and who are just starting. They should always bet smaller markets, where the market is not fully efficient, where you can find these opportunities. But when we talk about bigger markets, you need to bet before closing time, okay? And all pro bettors understand this, okay? Big takeaways from lesson 7: importance of betting early. Betting early is key to finding value bets before odds tighten, significantly impacting profits. Optimal timing: early morning between 8 to 12 for me. Risk rewards: while early betting carries risk like unexpected lineup changes, the risk of betting on closing lines and missing value is greater. Evidence of value: last season's experience showed that drop at 72.88% of times when betting early. Strategy for plus CV bettors: betting early is essential for getting ahead of market corrections and maximizing chances of success. And timing influences outcomes. The timing of bets can greatly affect betting results, with early bets offering better opportunities for securing value. So if you follow someone in, if he has the edge, if you're late, imagine you have 35% decrease. He can make a profit, you will make a loss. Okay, so simply as that. Lesson number 8: don't use mainstream stats, info, and betting trends and so on. Rejecting the reliance on mainstream statistics and MLB betting trends is crucial for achieving success in sports betting. Okay, I never look at ERA, betting average, standings. I have no idea who is first, second, third. I don't look at trends. Betting trends are great for SEO marketing, for explaining bets after you already make a decision, and then you try to prove your point and try to attract people who are not that familiar with sports betting, because betting trends will never give you the answer about probabilities. Okay, what does this mean that Red Sox are 7-0 on a Sunday night? What does this even mean? That they will win 8 straight, or that they will lose? What does this even mean? How much to increase in terms of probabilities? We don't have this answer. Betting trends is not probabilistic information. Okay, I also never follow picks. I don't bother with other people's, and also with other opinions. Opinions are always biased. Okay, and I also don't look at mainstream media news, analyze these opinions. I just look at the numbers and the facts and advanced statistics. Okay, so because none of these stats will give us the key answer, and this answer is where is the value in terms of probability. So if you understand plus EV, which is correlated directly to probability, we need to have this answer. We need to have this answer, not who will win. Okay, betting trends, often exaggerated in their predictive value, lack the depth required for identifying positive expected value opportunities and are misleading, especially for those unfamiliar with probabilities. So where to find advanced statistics? I will not give you 100 sites, or if you go to Fangraphs and Baseball Reference, you can find a lot of good statistics. Click on statistics, learn about that metric, and include into your betting analysis. Okay, so big takeaways from lesson 8: avoid mainstream stats like standings, ERA, betting average, are limited in predictive value and widely used, eliminating any potential edge. Focus on advanced metrics. Platforms like Fangraphs, Baseball Reference offer in-depth analytics that better predict future performances. Disregard betting trends. Betting trends lack predictive power and depth, failing to offer insights into probabilities essential for successful betting. Um, During the baseball season, there will be a lot of YouTube picks and everything, and most of them will rely on betting trends, which is completely okay, which is nice to hear. I'm probably not that attractive when I talk those things, but I'm here to give you honest lessons and something that I believe can help you in the long run. Okay, I'm not making flashy video here. There will be also shorter version of this video for those who likes to learn from flashy videos, but I think this is important. So betting trends are usually not good. Okay, or if you like, they will not give you a lot of value. Appealing to the uninformed, trends are often used by handicappers without solid track records or betting models, targeting those who don't understand probabilities. So simply calculate probabilities. The key to winning bets is a deep understanding of probabilities, not following arbitrary threats on or mainstream statistics. Okay. Lesson number 9: don't watch games. So the other day I was outside on a lunch, I think, and I was thinking about this, or I was walking my dog anyway, and I was thinking about this, and I think when I stopped watching games, my life changed. Okay. Before that, I couldn't make profit. I didn't have money. And once I stopped watching games, baseball games, my life changed. And I will explain this. This can be a huge, huge difference for you and game changer. I know a lot of people love baseball, which is completely okay, but we need to separate what is fun and we need to separate what is a work, okay? Because the day has 24 hours. And when you are building house, you cannot have fun. When you have, I don't know, exam on the college, you cannot. You will say, okay, I need balanced life. I need to make PlayStation. No, when you build, if you're not satisfied with life, there is not a lot of room for fun. And watching games is fun. Okay, so if people can afford fun, that's completely okay. But in my position when I started, because I started completely from scratch, and I don't come from rich countries like USA or Canada, where you can make much more money, right? But I was born basically in Yugoslavia, in socialist country, and I wanted to change something, and I had to remove fun at some point of my life, and I didn't recognize that when I was making analysis and when I was betting, I was watching games, that was basically fun. That was addiction, because the dopamine was it was attacking my dopamine system, and I didn't have time for improving my life, improving my finances, improving my betting skills at the end of the day. And once I stopped doing this, my betting results was better, my life was better, my finances were better, and only because I didn't watch games anymore. And I will explain this very important thing, okay? You know, baseball has 2,430 games in one season, okay? If you think that you will watch every single game, good luck with that, okay? And I was watching every single game 15 years ago. I come from Europe, and I was watching whole night. Baseball betting should be approached analytically, viewing players and games as data points rather than entertainment. Okay, back then I knew every single lineup, but once you start looking at baseball as just data points, not players, not persons, not people, those are just data points, then the games will change. You can still love baseball betting. You can still love baseball, but separate. You make analysis. Let's say that your favorite team is, I don't know, St. Louis. Okay, Cardinals. You love Cardinals. Okay, you make analysis, and then you see the value on the other team, let's say the Dodgers, okay, and you will bet on Dodgers because you found positive expected value on Dodgers, and then you will go to the match and you will still enjoy St. Louis. You need to separate this, okay? You will root for your team. They will win, okay, you will lose a bet, so it will be like a drop in your stock market or betting investment, but you need to separate those things, right? Some people say, I love St. Louis Cardinals, I will not bet against them or on them. You can also do this, but you are missing opportunities, okay? You simply need to look at games as data points, okay? Before you start betting on MLB, you must decide what you're seeking from it, okay? So are you betting for financial gain, or you are a sports fan? This can change your game, okay? You need to decide, do you want to be investor or sports fan? For many, it's advisable to keep this motivation separate. I love soccer, and I decided for something completely new, okay? And it can change your life. So if you love baseball, maybe focus on esports if you want to make a lot of money, because you will you will start including your emotion. If you love baseball, if you love teams, you cannot help yourself, but emotions will be there. Okay, and I'm not here to tell you what to do. What you can do whatever you want, but we need to know the truth. Okay, you need to separate emotions from betting. Okay, you must decide whether you wish to approach this as an investor or as a gambler. Okay, and as I said, everything that I say here is just a lesson. Okay, just a lesson that I learned, and I'm not telling you what you do. You can do whatever you want. Okay, I just want to give you some value, some information, and some lessons, because I do this for a long period of time, and baseball is really one sport that let's say I made success, and I really made thousands and thousands of analyses each year. Okay, so if you aim for profit as an investor, every bit of your energy, attention, and focus is crucial. This is why you should not watch games. Okay, and I will give you a quick backstory how watching games nearly ruined my life. Then everything changed when I stopped. So I was betting on baseball, and I was watching every single game. I was in Europe, so I started at 7 p.m. whole night until the morning. I made some profits, but betting was my only income stream. I was always under the stress. I was broke all the time. I didn't have life. I didn't have any other skill. And here are three hard truths. We bet to succeed and earn money, right? Winning in life and making money requires understanding the world and finances and also yourself. It's concerning when someone lacks understanding of the world and tools like Bitcoin and AI today, for example. And if you spend your whole time for watching baseball games, you will not improve. Okay, and back then I lacked knowledge in finance, stocks, technology, business, personal development, and simply essential life skills. And if you don't have those, you will also struggle with baseball betting. Life changed when I stopped watching games. So instead of watching 3 to 7 hours of baseball games, which is completely waste of time, I started investing in myself, in finance knowledge, stocks, technology, business, personal development, and simply essential life skills. Plus, for the first time, I experienced the sleep as it should be. Okay, once you start sleeping, because every time when we watch TV screens, it drains our energy. Okay, no matter you can make your own research, but every time when we scroll, when we watch games, when especially if you bet and you're excited, this will drain your energy, and you need this energy later for making analysis, for improving your betting skills, to making rational and good decisions at some point. For example, taking your profits or exiting without losing everything, right? If something goes wrong, you need all this energy, because baseball has 2,430 games, and you will need this energy and focus. Okay, it is not easy. I see people, they start making projections for the first month, and then they are tired, they are out of energy. You need that energy, not only for baseball season, but for whole life if you want to bet. Because people make analyze and then they watch every single game, they check results every single minute, and of course they stop doing this for 1 month. After 1 month, they just throw everything away. So you waste your energy, money, time, everything. Okay, you need to save your energy for analysis, for improving, and the best saver is stop watching games. Okay, so I was more focused once I stopped watching games, energized, skilled, better at making betting decisions, started improving my financial situation, and realized that betting is just a tool and true game is building wealth. Okay, and I wouldn't. This wouldn't be possible if I would waste all this time for watching games. Okay, this change shows it's key to focus on what really matters in betting in life, letting go of the emotional and time heavy parts of betting. As sportsman can improve your betting and more. Okay, and by the way, last season I didn't watch a single game. Last season I didn't watch a single game. The last game I watched, I think it was soccer full game, and this year it will be Euro 2024, right? And I will watch games, but I will watch games just for fun. Maybe I will. I have one system how to bet on Euro 2024 as well. Maybe I'll do this with smaller separate bankroll, but most of the games I will watch just because of fun, because I love, and I will not mix those two things. Okay, and I promise, if you use the time you now spend watching games to improve your betting and life skills, you'll become a smarter, better, earn more profits, and live a better life. Okay, people don't have the attention right now. It is a life of scrolling and people are not detail oriented. I see people, they miss everything, every single detail. And in the world that we live right now, people who will have attention, who will be patient, who will know exactly what to do and not exactly what to do, this is not that important. It is more important what you, it is even more important what you don't do, not what you do. We all focus, what should I do to win? No, first focus on what you need to exclude that doesn't bring any success, right? And watching game is one of these things, because it is easier to exclude things than to do things right, okay? And first steps should always be the things you should not doing, okay? uh, Big takeaways from lesson number 9. We have only one lesson, so don't worry, okay? Conserve energy and focus. Avoid getting caught up in watching games, following sports media, or engaging in social chatter about teams and players. I see bettors, they bet and then they talk about the player. Kershaw was good yesterday, blah blah blah. This is not important. Save this energy. Save this energy. You can take betting book, you can take math book, you can take statistical book, you can take finance book, you can take book about personal development. You will be better sports better. And if you don't like any of these books, then you are in the wrong industry, simply as that, right? Then this the sports and betting are completely two different things. Sports betting just used information and data points to create probabilities and create markets so people can bet and lose money, right? And you need to outperform this, and you need to have this energy. So view betting analytically, treat players and games as data points, not players, you see, when I started betting, some players were simply more attractive to me. I don't know how to say this, but I love some players. I don't know. For example, David Ortiz, Nomar Garcia Para, uh, who else? Alfonso Soriano, Derek Jeter, who was back then? Okay, Albert Pujols was always okay. Ichiro Suzuki, there were players I simply liked, and some players I simply didn't like. And then when I was watching, and then I was making the next day analyze, something tells me don't bet on this guy even if he was good, right? So you betting analytically, don't treat players as humans, simply as data points, okay? Simply as that. Just look at the numbers, okay? You will have better success, better results. Use time productively. Redirect time for watching games to activities to enhance betting models, financial knowledge, and personal skills, okay? Learn and invest. Utilize time saved to learn about finance, investments, and other areas of interest leading to personal and financial growth, okay? And lesson number 10, be consistent, okay? This is one thing that I see people are simply not consistent. And here's the thing, results will never be consistent, but your work and analysis must be, okay? People who start betting, they think that they will make plus 20 units in January, plus 20 units in February, plus 20 units in March, and that every single month will go like this. Once you zoom out, once you see 20 years of betting, you will see that not even the seasons will be profitable, right? You will have good seasons, you will have negative seasons. Once you zoom out, once you do this in the long run, and even if you do it right, you will see that results are never consistent, but you can be consistent. What that means? That means that you make analysis every single day, that you improve. So if you don't believe this, and if you don't believe in sports betting, why even start, right? So some people start betting, start making projections, start making analysis for 1 month, something went wrong, and they are out of energy. They don't believe anymore. So why you even start, right? So why even start if you don't believe in this, okay? And as I see bettors making analysis for 1 month, maybe 3 months, and then they stop, panic, change strategy. Every single year, when I hit a negative streak, I receive emails. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Guys, I had negative seasons. So once you zoom out, results cannot be consistent, but you can be consistent. If you can make 50,000, 40,000 analyses in last 20 years, then you're consistent. Okay, and I see people, they cannot make analysis for 3 months. Okay, it is like if you ask Michael Jordan, if you ask any high performer in this world, he is successful because he didn't stop when others stopped. When where others were quitting, he kept going. But we still should not mix couple of things, okay? Because you cannot lose year after year after year after year, because some bettors are stuck for 20 years. But this is another topic, because you need to change things if you're losing for 10 years. And if you see that you don't love numbers, you don't love analysis, you don't love making projections, you don't love statistics, you don't love math, maybe it's time to change something. Okay, but this is something you need to recognize. Okay, but if you love something, if you know the concepts, if you will be persistent, if you will consistent with your work, and if you will be consistent with your improving and learning things every single year, you will see results. Okay, the problem is that people mix sports betting with their love for the sport. This is the bigger problem, but I cannot solve this. Okay, this is something each person must solve, and those who solve this, who can separate sports betting from sports, they are making money. And those who don't, they are bringing money to the market. They are this is why betting industry exists. Okay, but those top 5% people who are actually making money, they they separate betting from sports. Okay, you can, of course, you can love baseball, you can still bet on baseball, but you need to separate those two things. As I said with the example, if you love St. Louis Cardinals and if you see the value against St. Louis Cardinals, you need to have cold blood and simply bet against your favorite team, and then you can still enjoy the game and root for your team. If you can do this, then you will win. Okay, so as I said, I've made over 45,000 baseball betting analysis in recent years, almost every single day, through both bad days and good days. I will probably not do this for the rest of my life, because the goal for me is to build wealth and passive incomes and have a good life. But when people start betting, sometimes they start here, then they lose, and then they wait here, and then they start betting here when, yeah, no, the things will be great, and then they stop betting here again and they lose money, right? And then they are following, waiting, and then they start here, and then they again lose, and they are always losing. Okay, once you decide to go into sports betting, there are no things to do by halves. Okay, either you do it correctly, you give yourself all in, because this is competitive market, and you need to be at the top of the game, and you need to believe in yourself, and you need to believe that you can do it. And if not, why even bother with this? Okay, so always remember, if you have a goal and exit strategy, you know what to do. Okay, so and then we come to the lesson number one, which I already said. If you have the goal, what you want to achieve this season, if you have the exit strategy, there is no reason for panic. Okay, if you're honest with your goal, and if you're honest with your exit strategy, so if you're honest, okay, I can lose 30% of my bankroll, and I can really lose this, and if you're completely honest with this, then you will follow your plan and you will be consistent. Okay, during the bad days, during the good days, during the bad days, you will not panic, you will not stop betting. During the good days, you will not double size, you will not I don't know, you will not celebrate and rise the stakes, but you will stick to your plan. Okay, if you do this. Okay, the problem is if you set the plan and you don't stick to it, and this is again more psychologically, and those who are more stable, more mentally strong, they will win in such markets. Okay, because betting is unpredictable, and you need to be strong mentally. How to become strong mentally? How I did? I can talk about meditation. I can talk about, I stopped watching games. Okay, I stopped watching games. I started meditating. I excluded alcohol. I started taking care of my body. So all those small things will make you stronger, more focused. But this is maybe a topic for another time. I'm not expert on meditation. I'm not expert on health, on fitness, on alcohol. Those are the things that will make you better. Okay. So, big takeaways from lesson number 10: avoid chasing strategies after every loss. Expect losing streaks. They will happen, okay? I hate when I receive emails, hey, what's going on? What's going on? I don't know. Loses will come. Losing days will come. I had 0-20 loss, 0-20 run, okay? It will happen, but I'm still here. I still do this, and I still make profits, and I already built good foundation for everything. Okay, so set goals, have a plan, and know what to do in various scenarios. Only bet what you can afford to lose and be responsible. No guarantees. There's no guarantee, right? Because as I said many times, when we are young, we don't have time. No, we have time. We don't have money. We don't have skills. This is why we go to school. Then we gain some skills. Okay, so once we have skills, we get the job. So we have skills, we start making money, but we don't have time, right? And at the end, we don't have time, but we have skills and we have money. And the game of sports betting is that you get skills, you can make money with your skills, so you get cash flow. Then you start reinvesting with in other assets and the skills, so you can start making money without going to work every single day. And sports betting is basically trading money for money. Okay, the problem with most gamblers is that they don't have money to trade for more money. So the first step is always to get money. Okay, you should not. I'm not. Don't take my advice like this. Okay, so I'm not telling anyone what to do. Okay, but I see my journey. Okay, betting is much easier when you have 100K on the side and you have extra money for bankroll. This is completely different game. If Because in the past I was betting and that was only income stream, and this was not life. Okay, so start building financial foundation, and your betting decisions and everything else will be completely different. Okay, so start playing like a big player, and betting is just part of it. Okay, stay persistent and consistent no matter what you do. If you play sports, if you open a restaurant, even if you are married, right? You need to be consistent. You will not all days will be great in a marriage, okay? And maybe I should not talk about marriage because I'm divorced, but I should talk about the things that I'm, let's say, not success. I don't like to use word success, but I'm happy with this. Okay, let's say sports betting or business or whatever. You need to be consistent. Okay, you need to be consistent. And those many of you are have happy marriages for 20, 30 years probably, and you know that not every single month, not every single year was great, but you still was persistent and consistent. If you take athletes, Michael Jordan, he was training every single day. He was in pain. He had bad days. He was losing, but he kept doing things. He was persistent. You cannot win at sports betting if you start betting and making your analysis, and then after 3 months, I will not do this. I will just start following, maybe trying to find some handicapper who will give me that magical bullet that, and everything will change. No, it will not change. Okay, every success requires persistency and consistency. Okay, because while results may vary, steady work is your best bet. Okay, so I hope you got the idea or two from these lessons. And I wish you successful baseball betting. Thank you for watching. And again, if you like the videos, please like and subscribe to the channel, and visit underdogchance.com to learn more about my way of betting. And I wish you all the success in betting and in your life. Thank you.